Hello one and all, this is Hybridsteel. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. I have been back after a week and a half of not being around, being sick and just genuinely just being a horrible mess of a human being. But I am back here to create another video. So I'm very sorry it's been, what, a week and a half now since I've actually done this? We're into Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. We're going to the junkyard. We're going to find another car and we're going to restore this bad boy. Whatever it is, because I don't know what car it is because it's on the thumbnail. I don't know what I'm buying because I haven't bought it yet. You guys know what I'm buying, so you're here for the adventure to see what this car comes out like, which, you know, at the end of the day, it's all good. You're going to see how I get through this, and I'll be talking to you as I go, but then some of it's going to be, you know, how I normally do a video. So when it loads, we will get into this video as soon as possible. So here we are at the junkyard. We have $651,726 to spend on a car. I wouldn't want to spend that much. So what we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves as a budget for the scrapyard. Let's say our budget is $40,000. Taking into consideration of the labour has to go into each car, probably looking at another $40K on top of it. So as long as I can make over $80,000 per car, I'm all good for like what I would be looking at. So this is a 1990 Mazda MX Miata, sorry, because over here we just call it a Mazda MX-5. It hasn't got another name. It's just a hairdresser's car. Dinker Jester Classic, nice. So what? If you guys aren't aware of this, one of the mods I put into this game is literally so I can have 24 cars in the junkyard, and it just helps. I've got a little bit more of a. Well, I've got a little bit more of a sort of like a way of finding more cars. Yeah. It's the downside of it. They're iconic, but my god, are they slow. I like this, and I love the stance on this. Now, if you know me from my GTA days, I used to drive around in a Voodoo like a lot of the time. This is pretty much the Voodoo. Alright, so I think we found my car. After going through all 24 cars in the junkyard, the Chevrolet Impala SS. Now, this is the lowrider version, so it's going to be way to the ground. I'm going to be buying this. We're going to take it back to the garage. We're going to get this one fixed up. So, let's get it on, shall we? Yeah, we're going to buy it. It's all good. To the garage! Okay, so we made it all the way from the junkyard to show the lowrider. Now, it unfortunately does look like it's a bit of a sorry state of affairs, but look at the ground clearance. Loving the fact it's that low to the floor. We might have to put a slightly bigger wheel on that, maybe. Because as you can see, I mean, the wheels sort of look a little bit lost, if you know what I mean. So maybe we can do something with this. We can maybe make the hubs a little bit bigger, make the tires a little bit thinner. But I think this is going to be it's going to be a fun project. So let's get this up onto the ramps, and then we're going to start the strip down process and go from there. Okay, so let's go. So yeah, a bit about over the time that I haven't been around. Unfortunately, I was ill, like badly. I haven't been unwell like that for a little while, and to basically be hit with whatever it was, wasn't great. According to the doctor, I'd caught 2 viral infections in one go. So lucky me. It was not a fun time, and I'm still not 100% now, but I'll actually add you up to that point where I can actually make a video. I gotta be honest, I missed it. I missed actually playing games and actually sort of like creating something instead of just sitting there wrapped up in a hoodie, shivering my ass off, trying to figure out if I was gonna sort of like survive the winter. And then what we'll do is we will try and fix up as much as we can. Basically just trying to make as much money off this as possible. Because it is a modded car. And I'm not sure how much it's actually going to cost to like renovate. And you know, just trying to get everything out there. And hoping, in honesty, it doesn't cost me that much. But the big thing is because it's a modded car, I'm not sure how people go about putting prices into this. And how much work goes into it. So... I've had it where I've like done up a couple of modded cars where it seems to be that it didn't sort of translate how much you would actually be putting into this. Right, okay, so we need to get the fuel tank out as well. And we'll get these batteries out because they're in there as well. Okay, so first off what we'll do is we will repair everything. Okay, so that's the batteries charged. And as you can see, I mean, we've literally stripped everything out of this car aside the engine. So we're doing all right. I mean, we haven't taken off any of the body panels or anything, but that is literally our next job, is to get rid of the headlights, the trunk, and all the other bits and pieces. And see if we can straighten them up as well. Is with the powers of internet, I'm going to go off and buy all the stuff I'm going to need, do some experimentation with the wheels, and then I'll be right back.
Several days later.
Okay, so we've bought everything from the shop, and now we are going to just dig it all back together. It shouldn't take too long, but yeah, this is all sped up for you guys. You'll see this in fast forward-ish, and then from there we'll have a party, put it all back together. It's all good. All right, let's go. Back on. It's all good. It's all good. We're doing all right on this. So far it seems to be that it's all fairly easy stuff to put back in together. It's all fairly good. It's all right. So that's all stuck on, and now we're up to the wheel. Okay, so we're not going to put the wheels on just yet. The reason why is because I want to have a little faff around with the wheels first. It's going to cost me a few extra grand, but yeah, I just need to basically get it in my head that I can figure this out, where I'm going to put the wheel, how it's going to sit, that sort of thing. And I just want it to basically look nice. You know, these are 13-inch rims, and I think in fairness it needs to be a slightly bigger rim, but less profile on the tyre. So what I will probably do is I'll have a faff around with that whilst I'm, you know, between sort of sections of video. You guys won't see any of that at all, but it'll just be me sort of getting more and more angry with myself that I can't make it fit properly. So that'll be fun. For some reason, it's something I overlook every single time I do one of these. The sway bar. It's just one of those things. And I don't understand why. There's just little things that just slip your mind. So that is everything aside tyres. So I'm going to go off and I'm going to get the tyres done. Bear with me a second.
One nap later.
Awesome. Right, okay. So now you can sort of see what I don't know, I didn't really have much of a vision of this car, but can you see it now? You know, it's a nice stance for the car. The actual, like, the profile of the tyre actually fills up the holes as well, instead of just having a really skinny tyre. These are 215 by 50, so the profile is actually 50. I did try to go thinner, but it didn't match the car too well, so I sort of just scrapped that idea and decided it wasn't the best thing to be doing. So yeah, I had a little bit of a fiddle, made the rims actually fit quite well. We're all good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to jack the engine out of the car. So yeah, now we're going to get all this back together. Now the engine itself, I'm going to have to strip down the engine, clean it up and so on. What I'll do is I will do all this. This will all be like sped up and we'll go from there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mount the engine up, add engine to crate, and then we're going to strip it. We need to strip down this engine because some of this engine I can actually still use into the 2-carb build. Some of this I can't use, so we'll go from there. So all this will be sped up and then we'll go into the repairing phase. Okay, so that is the engine stripped down. It is all good. Now what we'll do is we're just going to hammer into the repairs on this. And the repairs are going to be quite simple. Everything I can use, I will use. Everything I can't, I'm going to have to replace. That is the downside. So we're nearly at the end of building the engine for this car, which is, it's good. It means that we actually done this quite quick. I think it's because when I play on the, because this is on the PC obviously, I haven't got many of the DLCs. Actually, I don't have any of the ones for the extra cars. So with a lot of the engines that I work with are literally just like V8s or V8 OHVs. I think there is the i3 if you go through the XL or the Smith 15000 or 1500. Sorry. So the Smith 1500 that runs the i3 engine. With this, it's a V8. And it's a V8 and it's V8. I tend to do, as said, I'm doing a lot of V8 engines because of my lack of DLC. Wincing at it at the moment. So let's put the oil back in. But yeah, as soon as January comes through and like, you know, everyone's sort of sorted about what goes where and all this other stuff, then, you know, that's when I will know what I can do. Okay. So we'll raise it up, we'll put the exhaust on, we'll put the gearbox back in. It's all good. Power mounts. So this car, don't forget, cost us, what, it was about $6,000, was it? I can't remember now. I'm going to have to sort of like figure this one out. Okay. Slowly but surely we're definitely getting there. Now we've just got to put the interior into the car, and then this is, it's almost ready to be primed. It's all good. We're definitely, this is, I like the, I'm liking the stance in this car. It is pretty damn cool. And, yeah, it's, I really do like, if I could own a car, this is definitely one of those cars. Even though it's a boat, it's huge, but it's like, I've driven one in GTA for as long as I possibly could. I've always had a Voodoo, and that's what the Impala is basically. That's what it is in GTA. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If not, I mean, answer on the postcard down in the comment section below. Is the Impala the Voodoo in GTA? Love to know. I'm pretty sure it is, but it's just, I think it's just me and like the boyhood dreams of, you know, things. And clean you up as well. Gotta start the car. should is a big thing. Let's put it in the paint shop and let's go with it, shall we? Okay, so over into the paint shop now. Now, don't forget, when you're painting a car, there's so much light in this room that everything looks really drowned out. So if you're looking for a darker shade of like color of what you're putting into your car, then always make sure you're very aware of what's going on in it. Okay, we'll take it. It's not quite black, but it's a nice shade. And then what we'll do is we'll whack this into the dyno. We always put it into dyno for testing before we get rid of it. So we get to see the output of the car, get to see if there's anything majorly wrong with it before we finish, and then we're good. And that sounds nice as well. Yeah, I like that noise. That's cool. 498 horsepower. It's a beast of a car. I like it. Like it. So this has been I've got to say, a pleasure to build. I have enjoyed making this car. As you can see, it's come out really nice. Going for just that tint of purple, it almost like adds a grape colour to the actual car itself, and it's come out really nicely. Put a new set of rims on it. We've done a bit of everything to this car, and we've basically just made it almost like a pure classic car. Aside the supercharged engine that's poking out the front of the actual car itself, we've pretty much done this justice. It's a brand new car. It's got a decent amount of horsepower to it. And now the unfortunate part is we've now got to sell it. This has been a fun little car to do, and we spent, what, $6,000 to buy the car originally. We've spent, you know, a good sort of 20 grand doing this car up. So our profit margin isn't too bad. I will flash up the numbers along here of how much it cost me and everything else. And yeah, it's been fun. So thank you very much for joining me. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have liked this video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification button below for all other updates. And I'll be back here with another car mechanic simulator video or something else that takes my fancy. Until then, peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do. Bye-bye. What a car.